see and analyze certain fundamental trends shaping marketing today in what we call Marketing 4.0. Specifically, we will see the power shift from companies and brands to customers. Again, connected customers. This is the Coach Bong Diungria of the Ateneo, and this is a COSLA presentation and demonstration for marketing management classes. So the outline is the shift of power from companies to customers stemming from connectivity. There are three HIS shifts that are happening now, from vertical to horizontal, from exclusive to inclusive, and from individual to social. As the local application, we will see how this is happening in the MBA program at the Ateneo. So the first concept is the shift of power, where before in the 80s it was with companies and brands. Today, connectivity has given power to the customers. So now the connected customers are king, and brands and companies have less power than before. We see three HIS shifts happening. First, let's look at the horizontal shift from vertical. In the 80s, traditional marketing had a first step, which is identifying and targeting markets. Then companies would push communication and goods vertically from the company to the target segments through supply, manufacture, distribution, advertising, and selling. So it was a vertical movement. Today, because of that, other segments are neglected because these are not targeted by companies. Today, it's more horizontal because with connectivity, customers can communicate with each other through social media, word of mouth, crowdsourcing, good, and what Donald Trump calls fake news, and viral photos and videos. So now they are not alone, they are not weak, and connectivity through one another, through enabled by technology, makes them more powerful and more demanding. To adapt, companies also have horizontal collaboration with partners like toll manufacturers, third-party logistics, and a pool of suppliers to help them for key processes. So what we see now is six horizontal effects happening. So number one, there's a globalization leveling the playing field. Second, there's co-creation of customers and partners. And among competitors, there's co-opetition, working with one another. Customers now trust more what they call the four Fs: friends, families, Facebook fans, and Twitter followers. The fifth one is brand now need to be peers and friends of customers, and innovation is driven horizontally by ideas from the market and the customers. Now, the second concept is the shift to inclusivity. So, while before the direction was to exclusively serve certain segments, now the direction is for inclusivity. Why is that? It allows bigger target markets. It is actually required by economic and demographic changes, accelerated by social media, and enabled by technology. So faster internet speeds, cheaper mobile phones, um, a lot more services online, and there is a convergence of industries like telco and banks, and new business models like Airbnb, Grab Delivery, and Angkas, which weren't before. And these are all examples of inclusivity as compared to the exclusivity of banks, of markets, of countries before this shift. The third concept is the shift to social from individual. So now purchase drivers are not driven solely by individual preference. Is a desire for social conformity, and communities now control the brand conversation, where it used to be controlled by companies. So these are the concepts, and we will now see a local application in the MBA program at the Ateneo. So the horizontal we see in more powerful students having easy connected access to information and one another, whereas before it was vertical, where it was driven by the professor using the textbook and the class session as the vertical direction to communicate with students. Now the students connect with one another, and in response, the professor has to use horizontal directions as well through online links, YouTube and Google sources, and also allowing sharing of student work. For exclusive to inclusive, now students can, from different classes and even different semesters, can easily share, compare, copy, and adapt. So even from different professors, they can do this, which makes the inclusivity so much stronger and control much more difficult for the professor. The third example or local application is the social pressure for peers in group work like evaluations superseding individual opinion. So, as a response of this power shift, the Coach Bong has had to transform from Marketing 2.0 to 4.0, as evidenced by the need to shift the learning materials from initially PowerPoint uploaded on SlideShare to blogs and now to videos uploaded on YouTube. Actually, this video, once it's finished, will be accessed by students through a YouTube link. Second, there's targeted online posting. So if you want a professional message, it has to be in a professional platform like LinkedIn. A social message could be in the other social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. There's also a need to manage touch points. So I direct my students to only communicate through Viber. So I don't need to check in multiple screens and risk missing an important message. And fourth, there's no excuse not to use the latest locally relevant information for class discussions. For instance, now in 2021, we have January 2021 Philippine data for e-commerce, social media, and mobile. It's not acceptable to use 2 or 3 year old data because the latest data is easily available. In a news article by Forbes, they say that the connected customers actually disrupt business, and business should adapt and change so that even with the reduced power, it is able to serve customers who are connected and manage through the shifts to horizontal, inclusive, and social, as we have seen in the MBA program. So, in the spirit of connectivity, you can connect with me through my YouTube channel, my blog, or LinkedIn profile. And this has been a video on the power shift to connected customers shaping marketing today.